I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying.
Stop agreeing with yourself. Stop agreeing with yourself.
Hello and welcome to Glass Half Full Reviews, where we celebrate the death of modern cinema. And today I'm going to be trying a bit of a weird experiment. 2014, a lot of movies. Many movies. I saw a lot, but I really haven't had the time to make review videos for all the ones I saw. So instead, what I'm going to do is a little bit of an experiment. I'm giving myself 20 minutes. I'm going to review as many movies as possible. Now, I haven't seen every movie, so what I'm going to be doing is randomizing a list, which I'm going to show on the screen. And I'm going to go through it, and if I haven't seen a movie, I'm going to hit next. And that's how we're going to do it. And the way I'm going to do this rating-wise is a simple one. Basically, it goes like this. Would your mom like it? Would your dad like it? Would your pretentious uncle like it? Would your grandparents like it? Would your nerdy kid brother like it? Or would your basically infant niece like it? And if none of those things are true, then none of those things are true. But that's a separate matter. So we'll get into that in just a minute. I just want to load things up for you so you understand where I'm coming from. And I really have no idea if this experiment is going to pay off. Okay, so I've got it all set up. I hope this works. All right, guys. Let's put 20 minutes on the clock. And ready? Let's set. Go.
No, I don't know. The railway man. Next. Next. The rover. Next. Better living through chemistry. Next. The humbling. Next. Pompeii. Ooh, the volcano movie. Haven't seen it. The frontier. Haven't seen it. The 5-Star Life. Next. The Purge. Anarchy. Next. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who hasn't seen this? Well, I haven't. Next. Awaken. Next. FUPDR, MB, and FDH. The Legend of Shit. Gordon. Haven't seen this one either. Next. Nope.
Exodus. Gods and
this
Kings.
one just came out. Haven't seen it.
Jack Ryan. Shadow Recruit.
Oh, okay. I have seen this one. So who would like this movie? I'm going to say your dad will like this movie, and that is it, because this movie is really kind of poor. I didn't like it at all. Man. Ooh, I forgot to start the timer. Let's just pretend all that stuff didn't happen. I'm just going to let it keep going for right now. So, Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Bad movie. Didn't like it. Very boring. Your dad might like it. All right, next.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow is great. However, the problem is not everyone's going to like this one. However, I think your pretentious uncle might like the aesthetic, the kind of Groundhog Day aspect of it. Your nerdy kid brother's going to like the sci-fi stuff. And your mom's going to be like, I don't know if I want all that action. But I think your dad will like this. That's about it. This is a really good movie. One of the best of the year.
Wild.
Ooh, Wild. This is Reese Witherspoon's new indie movie, which means your pretentious uncle is gonna love this one.
Murder 101.
Next.
The Case Against 8.
Next.
Sabotage.
Next.
The November Man.
Next.
Winter's Tale.
Ooh, Winter's Tale. One of the worst movies of the year. Ooh, this was just putrid. Oh, Colin Farrell, Russell Crowe, Jennifer Connelly, a flying horse. I really don't want to get into all the specifics of how bad this is, but it is a poor, bad movie. I guess I would have to say it's like a failure of magical realism. It's like the worst magical realism movie I've seen this entire year. And I saw it really early, like January, February, and it was not good. I'm going to have to give this one a thumbs whoopsie daisy. All right, next.
Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher. Now, Foxcatcher is what I call an indie movie that's also disappointing. Your pretentious uncle is going to love this one because the acting of Steve Carell, Mark Ruffalo, Channing Tatum, phenomenal. All across the board. Those three guys are really great. The movie is over 2 hours long, feels like it's 5 hours long. This is like Hobbit syndrome, real indie slowness. And I have to say, yes, the acting is great, and sometimes there's some really interesting and well-acted and tense moments, but in general, I just was sort of bored by the whole thing, which is kind of unfortunate because...
Occupy the Farm. Oculus.
Haven't seen it.
Abuse of weakness.
Next.
Obvious Child.
Well, I reviewed Obvious Child, And I'm going to give this one to your mom and your pretentious uncle.
At Middleton.
Next.
Only lovers left alive.
Ah, this is that indie vampire one. Again, this is the kind of thing only your pretentious uncle is going to like. This is an interesting sort of thing. Tilda Swinton, Tom Hiddleston, Mia Wasikowski. I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. But it's interesting because it's these like very interesting looking people, the huge cheekbones, jutting out. And it has a kind of interesting romance and a slowness to it. I actually did find this one kind of appealing, but it's not going to be something most people are going to like. It is not your typical vampire movie. So just take that as you will. It's a pretentious vampire movie, but it's enjoyable for what that is. All right, next.
St. Vincent.
Ooh, St. Vincent. This is Bill Murray's movie this year, and he was really good in it. And the kid who he befriends, because that's basically what the movie is about. It's about Bill Murray befriending this little kid, and you might as well just accept it as, oh, it's Bill Murray, grubby old guy, befriending a little kid. And I enjoyed this movie in a sense. It wasn't like the best movie. It's a kind of an indie thing. Your pretentious uncle is probably going to like some parts of it, because he's going to like, oh, Bill Murray back again. Your mom might like it because she's probably going to notice Melissa McCarthy's in it and be like, oh, that Melissa McCarthy, love her. And I'm going to have to say your dad will begrudgingly watch it, laugh at a few moments of Bill Murray and be like, Now, your grandparents might see that, hey, there's an older person played by Bill Murray here, and then be kind of disappointed because the humor is not at all what they're expecting. All right, next.
The Good Life.
Haven't seen it.
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Ooh, How to Train Your Dragon 2. I'm one of the few people that didn't really think the first movie was that great, but and this second one, it's one of these things where it looks amazing, and the story is confusing and sort of like a lot of because magic. I mean, anyone who hasn't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you, because it's a good movie for a lot of the family people, but it has some dark stuff, so keep it away from your baby. But I think this is something your mom and dad might actually like. But it's like, in terms of the animation this year, there were some really great ones, and this just wasn't as good as some of the other ones. That's just really how I feel about it.
Third.
Person. Yes. Think like a man too. C-O-W-C-T-A. Conductor. Nope. The Tale of the Princess A-A-D-U-Y. Kaguya. No. Words and Pictures. Nope. The German Doctor. That sounds terrible. Brush with Danger. Nope. The Possession of Michael King. Nope.
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods. Well, this one isn't out yet, so I'm not really supposed to be talking about it much, other than I will say this. Like the music a lot. All the performances were really good. The story itself, which is based on a 1980s play, I found... I just feel like they've done better things with takes on twisted fairy tales since then. And to me, the material wasn't that interesting, but the music's really catchy. There's some really talented singers in here. Isla Crawford, who plays this young Red Riding Hood, was in Annie. She is phenomenal. Emily Blunt is really good. Meryl Streep has a pretty decent singing voice. The guy who's going to be taking over for Craig Ferguson is pretty good too. I would have to say this is going to be something I think people who like musicals, they're going to like this one too. And so that means your mom definitely going to like this one, and your grandparents might, and your dad's going to be like, maybe. It really depends. All right, next.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Ooh, Yves Saint Laurent. I reviewed this one already too, and I'm going to have to say even your pretentious uncle might find this a little too pretentious. It just wasn't for me.
6 dance lessons in 6 weeks.
Next.
Force majeure.
Next.
Noah.
Ooh, Noah. Actually, this is, oddly enough, one of my favorite movies. It's one of the first ones I reviewed for the show. And Aronofsky, like I said before, one of my favorite directors. I love the spectacle, the scope, love a lot of the acting, love a lot of the ideas and themes. Not everything was flawless, not everything was pulled off like fluently and perfectly, but I have to say, in general, I still love that movie.
Heaven is for Radar. Copenhagen. The playback singer. Next. The other woman. Who? It's supposed to be that. Addicted. Haven't seen it. Ride along. Nope.
Boyhood.
Ooh, Boyhood. I also reviewed this one, and I have to another time say what a great movie this is. It's probably going to win the Oscar for Best Picture this year, and probably deservedly so. It's just such a feat of filmmaking that it pulled it off after these 12 years. I mean, good lord, how do you do that? And also, it's really good. It's well acted. It's interesting. I just really enjoyed this one.
The Hunger Games. MOCKINGJ
That's
Part 1.
Mockingjay Part 1, and I don't think I actually put up a review of this one, although I did see it. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 has some interesting ideas and some interesting themes, but it really does feel like it's that first half of a two-parter problem, and it was paced in a little bit weird way because of that. But that being said, Jennifer Lawrence, oh my god, she is phenomenal in this role. I mean, there's no... It makes perfect sense that it catapulted her to fame because of this kind of stuff, but I have to really put it to the filmmakers, again, for casting in general pretty well, even if Liam Hemsworth is kind of boring. But it was nice to see, a few people that are new, and like, Natalie Dormer is really great in the really small role she has. Julianne Moore, fantastic. Philip Seymour Hoffman, one of his last movies, he is so clever and funny, like effortlessly charming. Really great stuff from him, too.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, all right. I think there's been enough on this one.
Unbroken.
Legend of Dorothy's Return. This is a kid theory. I heard this one's supposed to be pretty good. I think your dad would probably like this one. Cesar Chavez. A small section of the world of small time. No, I don't know that one. Red Army. Nope. Born to Fly. Elizabeth Strand versus Gravity. That's a evocative name. In the Blood. Nope.
Men, Women, and Children.
Ooh, men, women, children. Yeah, okay, so I'll say what I thought at the time, which is, this is a movie, it's like an anthology piece, and the more you think about it afterwards, the worse it seems, unfortunately. Although there are some interesting stories that I like, it really comes down to, the internet is scary, and I don't really think that's such a great message. Is anyone going to like it? Your grandparents might appreciate it for the message that's really unsubtle. So there's that. All right.
The Most Wanted Man.
Ooh, Most Wanted Man. I better skip that one.
Lock.
Ooh, Locke. Reviewed this one of my first reviews, and I also really love this one. Tom Hardy, phenomenal. The Pretentious Uncle, gonna love this one. And your dad might like this one too. Your mom's gonna be and your nerdy kid brother. He might be like, because of Tom Hardy. If you could force your kid brother to watch this movie, I think he's gonna love it.
The Guest.
Nope.
Lowdown.
Ooh, Lowdown. There were two movies about jazz this year, and one was great, and one was not great.
Wild Tales.
Oh, didn't see it.
The Lego Movie.
Lego Movie. One of the best movies of the year. Best animated movie of the year. Interesting ideas. Subversive, clever, funny. Seen it like 4 times. I'm going to say it again. I love the characters. I love the performances. I love everything about this movie. I also love the ending, which some people find controversial. I do. I really like this movie. Your grandparents like it? Your nerdy kid brother's going to love all the little stuff there. Your pretentious uncle's going to pretend he doesn't like it. But I think both of your parents are going to like this one.
This is where I leave you.
Next.
Love is Strange.
Okay. This one, your pretentious uncle is probably going to like. I think your grandparents, depending on their political affiliations, might actually appreciate it too. And as for mom and dad, it's going to be a real touching moment. I'm going to have to say maybe on that one.
The interview with I don't think I should talk about that. Penguins of Madagascar. Haven't seen it. Killed the messenger. Nope. By the gun. Nope. The disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. Them. It's a complicated title. Dear white people. I wanted to see this one, unfortunately I wasn't able to. The one I loved. Next. There's. Atlas shrugged. Who is John Galt? Nope. On the other side of the track.
Night Moves.
Night Moves. Oh, right, I saw this one. Pretentious Uncle. You're going to like this one. That is it. Because it's a really slow kind of indie movie. A lot of sort of interesting looking stuff. And some really like trying to be heavy themes. I think it's a bit overrated when it comes to this sort of thing. It was alright. It was alright for my taste.
Watchers of the Sky.
I don't know that one.
NIGHDCRAWL.
Nightcrawler. This is a good movie. I'm going to have to say one of the better ones of the year. But that being said, not everyone's going to like this one. It's a little too mainstream. I think your dad's going to love it. Your mom's not going to like this one at all. If you can get your pretentious uncle to watch this one, I think he might actually like it.
22 Jump Street.
I love 22 Jump Street. Hilarious movie. I have to say, nerdy kid brother, probably going to like it. Pretentious uncle, nope. And mom and dad are going to be like, maybe. But it's too much for your grandparents. Just too older.
John Wick.
Haven't seen it.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Your kid brother obviously gonna love this movie. Or your dad like it? I'm gonna say yes. Your mom's gonna be like, oh well, but Chris Evans, he's a handsome fellow. But that may be the extent of it. You might be able to get your grandparents to like it if they were familiar and fans of the Captain America character back in the day, but otherwise I don't think so. Your pretentious uncle is gonna be like, comic book movies, there's so many plot holes and so the themes are so transparent and blah 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 blah. Uncle Strawman. Anyway.
Bad
words. Ooh, deliver U.S. from evil. Ivory Tower. S-U-I-K-H-A-B. Handless love. M-I-N-U-G-U, are you now you? Step up all in. It's interesting, the Texas human capital. Dolphin Tail 2. The trip to Italy. Oh, I just saw the first one of this, with Steve Coogan and what's-his-face. Yeah, it was nice. And the funny thing is, I haven't seen the sequel, but my parents did see it and they did like it. So I'm gonna have to give it to Dad for sure. Next. Beyond the Lights. This is not so big one to see. Unfortunately, I just haven't seen it, however, I've heard that your pretentious uncle is one of those. The Gambler. Paddington. Christmas Ride. Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club.
Veronica Mars.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to say nobody is gonna like this one except for fans of the show. Not because they will necessarily hate it, but I think they'll just be too confused otherwise.
Return
to Nicam High Volume 1. The Monuments Man. This was supposed to be disappointing. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it. The Drop. Mr. Turner. It's one of those indie movies I'm supposed to say, but I haven't seen it yet. Pretentious uncle. He's alive.
J-O-D-O-R-O-W-S-K-D's Dune.
Jodorowsky's Dune. It's actually a really great documentary, but other than Dirty Kid Brother, maybe definitely Pretentious Uncle.
Weekend. Horns. So looking forward to this one. I heard all these negative reviews and I missed it. K-O-C-H-A-D-I-Y-A-A-N. Sweeping forward. Song of the Sea.
Joe.
The Imitation Game.
Oh, I saw The Imitation Game. Benedict Cumberbatch, very good. Charles Dance, really great. Keira Knightley, lovely. Movie, kind of disappointing. Pretentious Uncle's going to love this one. Your grandparents might enjoy some of the World War II aspects.
K-U-I-M-A-N-J-A-N-D-A-K-A, Queen of the Mountains. No Good Deed. The Quiet Ones. The Last of Robin Hood. The Empty Hours. We Are the Giant. Fading Sugarloaf. The Better Angels. Fallen God.
Let's Be Copes.
Let's Be Coach. That probably would have been better than what it actually was.
Gone Girl.
Ooh, Gone Girl. Pretentious Uncle trick him into seeing this one because this is a fun movie. It's the kind of thing that's maybe a little bit violent for Mom, but I think she'd like it, and I think your dad would too. Even your nerdy kid brother might be able to enjoy it because of the David Fincher angle. But it is way too extreme in terms of some of the violence and language, just darkness of it that I think your grandparents would be okay with this one. But I really liked it. I really did.
William Hemingway.
Ooh, Dom Hemingway. See, I didn't think this was so bad. But really, other than your pretentious uncle, maybe give it a shot. I'm going to have to say nobody in the family would like this one.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I just love this movie. Your nerdy kid brother, obviously going to love this one. I think your dad's going to like it too. If your mom can appreciate the tree and raccoon aspect of it, I think she might be alright with it. Obviously, we know what Mr. Pretentious Uncle's going to say. Oh, it's hardly a 2001 Space Odyssey. They did a space movie right, and then never again. Oh, except maybe Moon or something, I don't know. The newest pretentious thing is to say about space movies. And that's probably it, though.
The Heroes of Color City.
I'm not familiar.
The Remaining.
Nope.
Federal Up. Ida.
Ooh, Ida. Pretentious Uncle Man, because this is a sad, powerful movie, but it's a powerful movie. It's just that it's a foreign movie. It's a Polish movie. It's got subtitles. It's in black and white. It is kind of pretentious. It's also about stuff happening after the Holocaust. So let's pass on that for everyone else.
Blood Ties.
Nope.
Walking with the Enemy.
No, I don't know that.
American Revolutionary. The Evolution of Grace Lee Boggs.
I don't know that.
Virgo.
I heard that.
The 100-Foot Journey.
No.
Blue Ruin.
Ooh, I have seen Blue Ruin. This is one of those very interesting kind of indie revenge movies because of the budget, they had to do a lot of interesting stuff to actually film it all. And it's very visceral and very twisty and really hard to watch at times. I really thought it was really good. But that being said, because of how violent it is, it's gonna have it has like a limited appeal to audiences, and the themes are a little tricky. So I don't think this could ever get any kind of real mainstream appeal. But Bridget's uncle might be able to see past some of that violence to appreciate it. And that might be it, though.
Antarctica, a year on ice. So I actually seen this, but it's on my list, so I plan to see. Dominica, Jersey Boys, Finding Vivian Miller, Barefoot. Nope.
Magic in the Moonlight.
Ooh, I have seen this one. It's the new Woody Allen one. My goodness. Emma Stone is pretty nice, in terms of just like visually speaking. She does a pretty good job. Her character, poorly written. Colin Firth, he's like cold and fifthing it up. And I don't know, because I feel like Woody Allen has not been doing this great lately. And I'm not even just talking about with his alleged crimes. It just that this was trying to be so whimsical, filled with life and magic, literally speaking, from the title. Then I just I don't know, I was left a little cold by it, and the age difference between the two leads of Colin Firth and Emma Stone, it didn't help. It did not help at all. So.
RoboCop.
Oh, the remake. Haven't seen it.
Are you here?
Don't know that.
Hercules.
I think this is the Hercules that's good, but not Hercules that's bad. Of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was a good Hercules, not the bad Hercules, which was the plot from I don't remember his name. I know he was in the Twilight movies. The Rock is just great to watch. He's awesome. The movie is sort of like what I would call surprisingly decent, but it's not good. It's fine, it's fine. Did anyone really like it? I don't know. I doubt it. It's something you could watch maybe with your dad and your kid on TV or something.
The one I wrote for you. And number 2. The song. 2 days, 1 night. Oh, could you?
Great in that.
Lucy.
Lucy! You know what? This is fun. Even your nerdy kid brother might enjoy some of the sort of ridiculousness of the Luke Besson stuff. Unfortunately, because of how stupid he gets, I think it's stupid fun. But a lot of people might just think it was stupid. For me, though, stupid fun. That's how it goes.
Godzilla.
Godzilla. This was okay. There were a lot of really slow parts in this, but some people look at it. It's a tricky one. In general, it was like there's a lot of spectacle that was fun, but all of these human characters were just kind of dull, and there's so much of them. I guess I was a little bored by that part of it. All right, next.
Sincere. BHAG. Annabelle. Bridge and tunnel. YOUNGISDAM. Both call the crater for rain. Archaeology of a woman. Jimmy, all is by my side. Leviathan. The face of love. Trust.
Birdman. The unexpected virtue of ignorance.
A great movie. This is also getting a lot of great attention. Michael Keaton is phenomenal in this. The themes of existentialism and personality and who you are and what you're thinking about in terms of your art and compromise. It's really great stuff. I'm just really impressed by this. Oh, we're out of time. All right. How many did I do? Okay, I technically covered 166. Well, I think the also ones I didn't. But that's a pretty good number. And I think that's about half of the movies that came out last year. So next time I'll try to do the rest of it in another 20 minutes. Okay, this was an experiment that didn't fail. Didn't exactly succeed, but I did it. That was 20 minutes, about 168 movies that I at least said something about. All right. Thanks for stopping by.